I'm Dan Leary, broker and lead appraiser here at Asset Real Estate Services, and this is your El Paso Real Estate Market Watch for the month of May. The El Paso Association of Realtors reported 452 sales last month, which was a slight cooling from April sales at 523, down about 13.5%. This is probably the effect of the end of the tax incentives as buyers kind of get back to business as usual. The average sales price was $147.9, down from $151.2 the previous month. There was a good bit of news. The average days on market was at almost a 2-year low at 89 days, down from 109 last month and down from 121 in May of 2009. This indicates that the market may be warming, but I say that with a little bit of a warning. It can also be a sign that the buyers are cherry picking the best homes, which tend to sell quickly anyway. So if you're pricing real estate, remember this, and if you want to sell quickly, make sure you're priced ahead of the market, look at the competition, and position yourself to be the nenext sale. The homes for sale inventory rose to 3,686 homes for sale from 3,551 last month. That was an increase of 135 homes. The total months of inventory rose from 6.8 to 8.2, which is up about 20%. Now this is just the relationship between how many homes are on the market and how many homes were absorbed during the period. And since we had less homes sold last month, our absorption rate was lower. We rose to 8.2 months of inventory. The list to sell ratio is holding fairly steady at 97.4. This is just a measure of how much the typical homeowner is willing to reduce their sales price. In specific areas, we will also watch incentives such as closing costs and appliances to measure what the seller's motivation may be. So when I talk to buyers in the current market, they're usually concerned about whether it's the right time to buy or if the market might still move down some more. Real estate agents that I talk with tell me that many buyers are afraid to buy because the market is slow. And that's what I'd like to talk about today. We tend to talk about two market phases of the real estate cycle, the seller's market and the buyer's market. Picture with me, if you will, a roller coaster as it begins to rise. This is as prices rise in the market, and this is called the seller's market, as too many buyers are competing for too few properties, and they drive the prices up. So it climbs up and up until it peaks and starts up over the downside. And that's where builders and developers have built, and there are more properties competing for sale than there are buyers. And the market begins a transition to a buyer's market as prices then begin to fall. Prices fall until job growth comes back and demand rises, and the cycle starts all over again. So some buyers feel that they must wait for the bottom, but you really can't. By the time you realize that the market has bottomed out, it's too late. You're really just looking at the past, and prices are already rising. And sellers realize that they're back in control of the market. As sellers realize that there is more demand for housing than supply, they pull back from the price reductions and the concessions that they were making that was making the property such a good deal in the buyer's market. So trying to time a buyer's market is a little bit like trying to catch a falling knife. You just can't do it. So if the time to buy is in the buyer's market where the good deals are, why don't more buyers buy? Why are buyers more comfortable buying in the heat of the seller's market where prices are rising? And I think this is because we like to have social proof. Everyone we know is buying as the prices rise, and it looks like they're making a lot of money. The media and all our friends tell us that it's a good deal, and that even though the real estate prices are high. It tends to be a little bit more difficult to go against the advice of our relatives and the news media, who are all saying that real estate is not doing well during a buyer's market, when actually we're far less likely to make mistakes in the buyer's market than we are in the seller's market. The buyer's market is called the millionaire's market, and this is where fortunes are made by buying at good prices and riding the cycle up. It can, however, be really tough to do something when no one else is doing. I'm buying as much real estate as I can, as much as makes sense right now, and so should you. Well, that's it for me. If you like the information, you can subscribe for free down below. And if you know anyone who needs this information, please feel free to forward it to them. Until next time, ciao.